Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is video number 2 I've recorded today. I don't know if I'm gonna put it up like right after I make it or what. But so yeah, right now I'm gonna show you guys all the brushes I use and how I use them. Or at least the brushes I have and at least how my understanding of using them is. And upon looking for my brushes, I came across that my loose powder blush thing I have here that I never use because it's so dark for my skin tone wanted to like spill all over my makeup. So like now all this is all covered, so I'm gonna have to go through and clean that. Yeah, that like really pissed me off. Anyways, we can get on with our video. Okay, we're gonna have to move my stand down a little bit on my phone here. See? Oh no, a little more. Okay. Oh, it's just not gonna work. What can we use? You know what we can use, Momo? Sorry, I'm talking to my cat. My cat's in here. He's right here. It's my kitty. My kitty I tell you guys about all the time. This is my Momo. Yes, I'm back living with him. Don't mind my messy ass room, please. But yeah, this is my baby. Anywho. Alright. Like I said, my hair's doing a thing. Don't mind it. I'd go and grab a hair elastic, but I'm just too lazy for that. So anyways, for my foundation, there's like 3 different ways that I actually could do my foundation. But one of them I tend to use more than the other. So this one, like, I really have to clean my brushes because this one still has like my Halloween makeup in it. So I gotta clean that out. Anyways, this one is just like a knockoff artesian brush that I got at Walmart for $20. The brand on it is Moda, and this is brush 801. And I just kind of dollop on my foundation onto the top of this. And I just like brush it in my face, or like I'll pat it or something. And yeah, so that's basically how I use this. My other foundation brush that I have here is my double-ended one that I have here from Sephora, which you guys see more of the one that I have for this. This is more the side you would use, but I've been using it for face masks, and this one I usually use for setting powder, or like you can use this for concealer as well. Now we have my beauty blenders. I have 3 different ones. This was my first beauty blender, and yes, I know they're dirty and I need to clean them. But now I have my Real Techniques ones, which I like but I don't, because I like the firmness of this one, but these are more squishy if you have like gentler skin, I guess. And then for like a setting powder or like a loose powder, these come with my CoverGirl ones. Like my CoverGirl loose powders. I'm not gonna pull the one out of there. They come in like a package like this. This is actually the one out of here. And I personally don't really prefer them because I don't like using them because they don't have. Sorry, I'm using my phone to film this, and it just does not want to stay up for me. And basically what you do is just like put some setting powder on here and just kind of dab it around is how I would do it with this. And then what I actually use for my setting powder is my blush brush from Real Techniques. I actually or I'll use it to like blend out if I have too much like color from like bronzer or something over here. I actually use it for my bronzer, then I realized it doesn't work well for bronzers, so I found other usage for it. Now for my blush and my actual like brush for my bronzer. For my blush, I use this brush here from my Me because it doesn't pick up like too much, but it picks up just enough. My blush brush on here, I actually started using for my highlighter because it just gives me a wider thing than what I would normally use. For my highlighter, I used to use like this little packing type brush right here, and it would just give me like not as much, and I'd have to blend and blend to get it to where I want it to. But this side here I typically use for my bronzer, but you can also use it for foundation. I just prefer to use it for my bronzer. And I have a concealer brush here that I never really used for concealer, but I might try that soon. But yeah, so like this little flat end here is basically what you would use for your concealer. It's basically just a smaller version of this foundation brush here. See? But yeah, this side, I used it for blush once. If you have like a smaller face, it works for that. but I used it more for a highlight. Or I would use this one for my highlight. This one's the Moda 803. I tried using it for my blush once, but it literally, like, I put it on my cheek and my blush was just, like, insanely pink. I don't like my blush insanely pink, so I started using it for highlighter, and it packed it on nicely, but I don't know, like, these brushes are actually, like, really soft, like, so you can just kind of move it around. It's more or less, like, they're just breakable, I guess. They're easy to break. Now we have a Moda 802, which is like another artesian brush, which I would recommend more for like a bronzer. Like if you just want to like contour, that's what I would use this one for. For my eyeliners, I typically use, I have another brush around here somewhere that goes with this, but I usually use like a bigger version of this that has like a pink handle. I think it was from Luxe, and this is basically what you would use for like a gel liner, which is what I typically use. I don't like to use pencil liners to wing out my eyes or like a marker or something like that because I'm just not that good with them. I prefer my angle brushes, which I have another one here on the other end of my spoolie. For the spoolies, I would typically use this to do my brows. I spray hairspray on it, then I just kind of brush it through my brow. But these are also good if you use Better Than Sex mascara. You know that is an amazing mascara, and it is one of my favorites. Like, it's bomb. And if you brush this through after each swipe, it'll get rid of the clumps. And I actually learned that from one of the YouTubers I'm not very fond of. But yeah, for cream shadows, I actually got this brush from my cousin. This was an Avon cream eyeshadow brush, and it has like I guess you could use it for a concealer too, but it's typically made for like a cream shadow. It has like that stiff end up here, and yeah, it took me a while to clean it, and then I dipped it in black black eyeliner for Halloween. Back to beauty blenders though. These are good for like setting powders for under your eyes, my little baby blenders. I have another smaller one that's somewhere. Oh, there's that other brush I was telling you about over there on the floor. That's great, but this one's probably on the floor somewhere unless my cat got to it. It looks a little different. It has more of a form like this, but this size. And I use these just for setting powder under my eyes. I don't really use it to conceal. For my eyeshadow brushes, I don't really use the one that came in the package with my small brushes, which is this little blending brush. But, you know, they're good, but I typically don't use it. For any sort of eye look, I stay with my MAC Beauty Cosmetics right here. There's no, like, number or anything on the brush, but I love this brush. I use it for all my eye looks, and it just blends great. It's not too big like this one here I have in my Sephora collection, where this one, if I try to blend, it's going to go up to my brow. And I don't want my creases going up to my brows. Then we have a packing brush on this end, which I do like to use if I'm like putting on a transition shade or going over my whole eye with one. But this I don't typically use to blend. Then we have like a smudger. This is basically something you'd want to use like if you're doing like a smoky eye and you want to put liner on your lash line. You'd basically put the color on here and then just kind of run it underneath your eye. Eye. And the other end of this, like, if you see something like this, it's more of a lip brush, but I use mine to go over, like, a liner with a sparkly color from my Moon Dust palette, which you don't have to, that's just what I do. It's more of a lip brush. Same with this one. This is also considered a lip brush, but I haven't really used it as a lip brush, I guess you could say. But yeah. And what I typically use for my setting powders are like these little throwaway throwaway sponges. This one's really dirty, so I'm probably gonna throw it away and get some more eventually. But yeah, like they're just cheap little sponges that come in like packages of like 6 or 8 or something like that. They're maybe like $2 to $5. These work great for setting powders. I wouldn't use them for like, I mean, unless you're, like, on a budget, then yeah. But if you're on a budget, I'd recommend these because these are reusable and you can get more uses out of them than 8 of these. Because you can't really clean these, per se. So yeah. But yeah, that's all my brushes and, you know, my cat and my dirtiness that I have to clean, which I'm really mad about. But yeah, have a great night, guys. Love y'all.